There's going to be so many shakeups in terms of drops. There's going to be so many teams dropping elsewhere than they usually do, so they're not going to be used to the rotations, and we're going to be seeing a lot of teams contesting each other. But again, I feel like in a cup, you don't want to contest. We have 12 games to qualify here. I don't like seeing contests. I want to see that in the leagues where you have a massive amount of games where you want to prove a point, but here, they don't want to back it out. But look at this. Navi's going to go La Cabrera, and Avanga, they're going to continue all the way east. M19 towards Alcantara, and it's not going to be having a lot of contests as we were kind of hoping for in La Cabrera.
No, there was obviously the desk kind of brought it up to attention where you normally are, but you've escaped somehow. Normally chain you to the desk, but he's found his way free. And I like what you said, that teams aren't just kind of contesting for the sake of contesting at this point. You have time for that. It's not now. Are we seeing a big difference in that yet with these teams? We saw, obviously, the PEL teams and then contenders teams. We've seen 2 games of Erangel. Have we seen anyone being stubborn in this, or have we seen most teams, as you said, kind of shuffling around? Is there anyone standing out to you that's still fighting for that ground?
Well, definitely Reciprocity and Vitality. They're still fighting for it, and I feel like they're for this cup, they're here to prove that they want to go in the league. And if they back out now, then they feel like the other team will they'll stay out here. First circle though in Far East. Not good for the majority of the teams because the plane was kind of starting on the western side, and these teams here. Red Diamonds, they wanted to go Montenegro also. Desperado, they usually go into the Minas Generales, but Vitality is there. They didn't. They saw that Montenegro was open, but Red Diamonds maybe also thought that, so they're forced to go somewhere else. Digital Analytics, they could have taken Chumacer, but they're going to be looting some of the trash loot, as we call it, south of Pecado. Reciprocity, though, in Pecado here, and this is what kind of could get them the lead in terms of keep fighting for school apartments when we go back to Wrangell tomorrow, but we'll see how they're going to do here.
Yeah, I say they're a fan favorite. I love watching these guys. You know what I mean? They're a team that it's hard to not enjoy watching, but they haven't had the biggest of impacts yet. They're quite low down on the table, but I think the desk again highlighted it well. It's still early enough, but you don't have too much room. You have to eventually kick up the points. So hopefully this will spur them in the right direction. Raise your edge. I love their aggression coming out of Yasnaya on the eastern side. Up for a fight, and I think that suits their playstyle. They did bomb out kind of early in the last matchup, but I'd rather see them being the aggressor and actually taking the moments that are provided to them.
I definitely like Ratio here, especially them fighting for Yasnaya. Usually Yasnaya is a place that you can share easily. But here for them, they're going to be looking at looting for themselves. Desperado, though, they're going to have Montenegro for themselves. Red Diamonds decided not to contest it. Again, as we talked about a few times, and as the desk talked about as well, is it worth it contesting in a cup where we have a BO12 to make it into the top 8, to make it to the finals where the real money is? Because obviously, if you go out in the group stages, there's no money. You're just here to play on land. You're just here to kind of prove yourself. And obviously, it's in the grand finals. You really want to prove yourself, both on an individual scale, but also as a team.
It should be in the back of their minds, surely. I'm curious how much difference it makes with loot routes. If anyone really suffers, I'm sure we'll hear from the players eventually in the interviews, if anyone's kind of feeling on the harder edge of things, if they're struggling with new loot routes and kind of rotation routes, if it's hindering them. Obviously, coaches are out there to try and smooth that transition if they had to have changed. But let's take stock of that brand new circle. You did point out it is already in place over towards the eastern side. Besiktas in a really nice place.
Yeah.
Vitality have a really nice place as well. They can kind of springboard off it very quickly. Is there anyone we need to keep our eyes on to start with who should be kind of benefiting from this circle?
Definitely Besiktas, as you said here, they're going to be in a good spot. What's going to be really interesting is the teams that's going to be rotating in. What routes they're going to take, kind of what decisions they make coming in towards the circle. There's obviously many ways of coming into this circle, but Avanga, they're going to be coming in from the north. We're going to see probably Navi coming in from Crystal Val, maybe through kind of El Asaha and that direction. But as we have so much pressure kind of coming in, there's 3 main roads or 3 main places you can come in from. There's south, the straight west, and then kind of the northern side, because you want to take the big roads as you transition in. And this is where I'm asking myself, are we going to see any teams kind of stopping there in edge, making it hard for some of the other guys, picking up some of these easy points on rotations, or they're just going to be trying to go for the center? Vitality already on the move. They're already trying to get some of these really good spots, and Simpsy's already there. We're going to see some fights soon enough. Crokout, though, here, they're also going to be moving on. Look at this. Simpsy's already out there defending his turf. It looks like Vitality's going to be pulling up.
They're rolling up on this. Ultrad's on the way, but he might have to... Oh, Simsy, no! That's devastating. Maybe not expecting Vitality to commit or just call out in the open more than anything.
Also, he's gonna be going away from this. That's very unfortunate for Simsy. And Jazz, you seize that opportunity. Reciprocity, though, one of the teams is going to be really benefiting from having that center location spot in Picado. They're going to be rotating nice and easily into the zone. Going to be taking a nice and center spot there as well. Unity here, though, they're having a Hacienda. We saw at TSM how strong Hacienda can be, and we'll see how these guys are going to be able to kind of facilitate that.
Well, Unity, I was skeptical. After the first game, they kind of rested on their laurels a little too long. It looked like game 2, they came out swinging.
Oh, yeah.
They took the big sweep on that western side. They pushed all the way through the CIS teams and kind of worked their way in. So to me, I'm curious where they balance it. This is far earlier on rotation than we saw before, bearing in mind they were on Sosnovka Island on Erangel and then eventually slowly came in towards the center of the circle. So this is a little bit different stylistically. It may be just purely because of they are in Hacienda and the circle is this close to them.
Yeah.
But still, again, we're seeing a lot of that kind of compounds and different buildings on the southern side of this, I guess, circle for now being contested early on. There's still plenty of room, though. It does just look quite busy to start with.
Definitely. As you said, Unity, they have 10 points, and those 10 points come from the kills in the last game. So they're definitely a fragging team, and definitely to look out for. I mean, 3 of the guys, they've been playing the whole phase 1 together, right? So it's only Orange Snow that's going to be kind of going into the team, and I'm curious to see who's going to be in the leading role for that. But we have some rotations coming in. Battalions, Ukraine, and Orange, they have stopped here as well, trying to scout. Obviously, Miramar is definitely the map to really utilize stopping and scouting before we move in even more than on Erangel. 7 here, also on rotations. M19 is also beginning coming in. Tornado Energy is coming to take some shots at them while they rotate in, and D-Mash is going to stop at this little gas station here. Or is he? The question is. Oh, he is. Okay.
Where's the rest of his team so far? He's relatively far ahead.
Very far, yeah, very far west.
He's still scanning this out. He's got a Car 98. Why not pull up and get some pressure back on? So, I'm not sure what scope that was on. It looked relatively sizable, so hopefully he's got a bit of range to apply some pressure to allow that avenue of approach for the rest of M19 if they want to use that avenue to work through. But again, they're not in the center yet, or in the circle yet, so they've got a long way to go. If they want that, Hello Senpai's in a lot of trouble. Those sets off towards the side so they can create some crossfire, but they do not have the compound here. They're working in towards this. Memo's there, Rita's there. We've got a whole lot of the players now already stacked up in that compound. We do see Tornado working forward, but by this point, M19 are ready. D-Mash already got out earlier. This would be a lovely bit of revenge. They pull up, he gets one, but he can't get the second. Instantly traded on and should be punished. They've lost out on their scout already, and I don't know what the rest of M19 can do here. They have pulled up, but they're spread out. It's just Elite Player on their own.
Yeah, and Kamka's probably going to be picked up here. Melman moving with that cow. Oh, I love to see that. Utilizing that Krakart here, and we need a home. Definitely fighting. Sterling's going to be taking some more shots. Libsyn is down to nothing. Shots are coming in from Ultra in the third party. More shots are coming in. Kemba, last player alive here from Krogart. Nate's coming in. And he's going to be able to finish something off and pick up some of those points. Oh, nice Nate. Finish off Memo and takes down Polideric. And he's going to be finished by Tommel. It's going to be stolen kill. And we need a home is down to 2, and Krogart is down to just 1 player. Meanwhile, we see still the M19 fight outside the zone with Tornado Energy, and M19 is unfortunately one of the teams that have lost out to the Visa battles. They are playing with 2 substitutes, and I believe 2 of the players is from the management team of M19, so it's definitely not at the level you usually see from some of these guys from M19.
I can imagine it'll be a little disjointed comms-wise, playstyle-wise, but hopefully for them they can do their best. That's all you can hope for here. Kemba is still standing. That third party and everything else that went on has kind of given him a second or two, but the issue then becomes Besiktas clearly have eyes and they clearly have range. You've got a Car 98, you've got everything they need up there as well. Ultra already proved what he can deliver, so again, there's threats aplenty, even in areas you wouldn't particularly expect it at this point. Shrink comes in. Lots of space in the north here of that new circle.
Very amazing amount of space here, actually. Ratio actually going to be able to rotate in. They can stop in some of these high ground areas and rotate in and scout some of these areas that are completely open. Avanga, they're going to be basically perfect. They can get very deep into this new circle here. And Reciprocity taking some shot at Unity. Looks like Stuffing is going to go down, unfortunately. Lots of, and this is what Frost really likes to see as well.
What does Frost like to see?
Frost likes to see that.
White suits.
No, not that. But he likes to see multiple things. One of these things is that first phase, not a lot of teams fight in the first phase. But here, they're actually pulling up. They're taking some of this ground. When some of these teams are splitting, they're taking multiple compounds with just 1 or 2 guys. And we see a full team pull up and take like one of these kind of better areas, kind of better compounds. You take them away and just risk them out. So really happy to see that. Also, Vitality did the same. They pulled up on Simsi. Ultra's on the way there, but managed to just take that compound away. And that's what we really wanted to see kind of from phase one, and not a lot of teams did that, even though we had 60 games to kind of do those things and really kind of counterproof that. But here, all of the teams are doing it. They're making sure that the teams that are greedily splitting, they're getting punished. You can't hold down 4 compounds in phase one. You want to make sure to take one of these compounds or some of these compounds away from these solo players.
It does take confidence, though, because you know the damage that can happen,
absolutely.
and it's so hard to just, I guess, understand instantly that is a solo player. It takes time, it takes that scouting, and it's so quick. You have to be so good at decision making at this point. So it's credit to the teams that do crash into that do take them, that kind of have that initiative to punish these others being greedy for that land grab. And keeping eyes on Na'Vi, of course, they're still very much towards the top of the board, looking very good for themselves. They probably want to keep that up. Desperado, speaking of top of the board, they were looking very good. And Frank already going to find Calvin Klein. The interview may not be repeated this time if that nade did find its target. Not to be the case as the car rolls forward. Support's on the way, and it looks like the Desperados are in trouble.
Shots are coming in here from the supporters. Macari is forced to move back, but the rest of 7, they can move on a high ground here and maybe get some kills onto Fake and Calvin, kind of finish them off at least, but it looks like Calvin's going to be able to be picked up. But a lot of support are coming in from Cold. Nades are coming in, Smokes is out, but this is a nice fake smoke. It's going to go down to Buster though. Calvin's going to return it.
Yeah, this is so messy though at the moment. If you look at the ground that you're looking at, Edelweiss hold, Crab to hold. The Desperados are there, but they're not close enough. They can apply pressure, sure, but they can't get a knock, I don't think. I'd be very surprised if they could pull that out of the bag. Buster's got another couple of problems coming in as well. That's another issue. They can maybe work on that eventually, but they need to kind of fend off the attackers so far from the Desperados that are kind of on the hillside ledge. I like the bit of work coming on the low ground there. That could be quite nice to watch. That could potentially be a thorn in the side, but I don't know how much they're going to get done. Edelweiss is still kind of paying attention to where the fire's coming from, but actually may not be where we're expecting it. That's the third party confirming the knock earlier. We're seeing now more fights breaking out across this map.
And Na'Vi taking some shots towards Pittsburgh Knights. How Sarah's going to take down Eggery. Edelweiss is going to finish off Fake, so he's not going to be able to rely or relay any more information to the team. But Eggery outside the zone as well. Phase 2 is closing, and now the damage is really going to start hurting. And it's going to go further north. Sikta's looking really good. Banga managed to sneak in on the northern side and take one of these strong spots. Edelweiss is going to take down Colomenta though.
That's so sick from Edelweiss. That position, I thought that a little bit of a southern-ish, I guess a kind of low ground flank coming in might have allowed him a little bit of room. Not going to happen. Really good work from them. Going to be able to back away. 3 players alive. Comfortable. They managed to kind of hold up against the odds. And I think we're going to get a little bit of replay on that slow, lower ground play. That was just instantly deleted.
It's very nice. Kemba on a fight with Lipson. Oh, he's going to take him down as well. Very nice shots. And they're still fighting here. Phase 3. They've gotten into the zone though. Still fighting for this compound. Not in a good spot. It's not inside the zone anymore, but they're still fighting. Again, fighting for the points. 1 point per kill here on the new super settings we've been having for all of the phase. Rita is going to be able to pick Lipson up. Kimba is in a new position. Oh,
nice nade. Didn't take it quite long enough, but it's bought them time. If you're just going to try and use a nade to ward away a bit of space, that's good enough. But Kemba's been such a thorn in the side here. They haven't been able to move on. Uh-oh, here comes Reciprocity. And we do have players on the other side. A beautiful death. Pushing further forward. They've got to know they're here. Haxeti's unleashed nades already. You're going to see a beautiful death. Finds one. Shiv caught out in the open. This is going very badly for Reciprocity already. Losing out on 2. Is there a trade back in? I'm looking for someone to answer back towards the Digital Athletics team. And no one really is. Haxeti is there, but no one's showing just yet. Finally gets a peek, can't land the shot he wants. Damage comes in. They're not getting any breaks, they're not getting any damage back in. Scoom's just gone down. They're being slaughtered.
Very unfortunate here for Reciprocity. Nice move from Digital Athletics. Again, with not their star player, being able to kind of just sweep in and take Reciprocity down. Also, they were playing it kind of 1-1 solo, taking the 1-1 fights all the time instead of pulling up as a 2. I'm trying to take a 2 versus 1 so you can refrag, you can get those counter knocks. Bambaki very confident already. Substitute player here. Hexhead is just going to hold this corner for some time and try to survive. Very unfortunate. Not the start that Reciprocity needed here in Miramar. If they want to take the fight back to Vitality on Erangel tomorrow, then they needed some good games here on Miramar. But unfortunately not worked out. Elite player is going to take down Senya though. Now we lose out 1. Oh, they actually packed off. He's going to be able to pick up Rafi. Are you kidding me?
very surprised that that's the case. Is there a third party? Do they see something? I don't know what's given them the go-ahead to back away. We are hearing shots because I'm pretty sure the Knights might have just pulled up. I'm not sure. It's not currently in the shot we're seeing, but I do see it in the minimap. And we did see the backing away of Sixmo and Co. They did find the remaining member.
Oh, that's why they backed off. So they heard a
They
player
must have
pull
heard
up.
yeah, they heard the call. That makes sense now. But yeah, leaving Reciprocity to be able to get a potential revive is kind of questionable. Jazza could be in trouble because we are indeed seeing the lights coming in. New circle as well. Raise your edge central. Besiktas still good. Avangar out towards the east. That western fight is going to kick off.
It's going to definitely kick off. Vitality, we have so many teams out there. Tonight Energy, Pittsburgh Knights pulled up in a great spot. They have some time to move here. Battleton's going to take down Fast Rail. He's the lonely player here for Unity. It's not going to work out well for Raise Your Edge, though. Vitality here with the fight. Tornado Energy. And they're very stacked. Looks like Vitality have a really, really good split here. They could potentially kind of cover them.
Absolutely. If you look at it this way, Tornado have to work their way forward. They're not in the safety. That northern push for them isn't all that viable. The ground is not good. Vitality should be able to see this either way. It's dependent on how they can carve a way forward here. We are still seeing Babaki. You said how aggressive and confident that player looked. Already living up to that. Another fight's already kicked off. That's going to be in the background as well. Unity did get found. They did manage to find one of the Raise Your Edge members, but Chris has instantly answered back. We are seeing Tornado trying to make that run. That may not go well, but checking in with Na'Vi. We need a home. Did manage to make it out of one compound, but only have found a disaster in the other. Na'Vi sweep them away, removing the two remaining players.
Taking more points to themselves. Looking good for the new Na'Vi roster here. Ducey, definitely a player to look out for. Tornado Energy is trying to make a move now. And again, a 4 versus 4 here with Vitality.
They've got a good bit of ground. They use their smokes well to create that avenue of approach. They're pretty isolated from each other, but these nades are splitting up Vitality, allowing X-Team potentially to get in a good position. Gamka is keeping them again on their toes, but Vitality can always peek over. It's just the timing on the peak that could catch them, but for now, Tornado have managed to make it forward. The information's been found by Shadow, that's for sure, but by this point they have a touch of cover, not a great deal, but maybe they can get a fight going. Tornado have an angle, that's X-Team. This is the player I was looking at. If he finally found that moment to strike, he could have maybe elevated some of the pressure, but it looks like he's been kind of waited a little too long now, and the answer's gonna be coming back in.
More shots coming in here, and Raise Your Edge onto those guys. They have a great spot. They can take some more shots at them, put some pressure onto Tornado Energy. Meanwhile, Navi's pushing onto Digital Legacy here, trying to get in. Red Diamond's also dying. There's a lot of stuff happening right now. Compot's going to be taken down, though.
Here comes the push. Yeah, this is going to be so brutal. Vitality did lose out on Jazza. He's knocked right now, but the trades back in are pretty deadly as well. Already Tornado losing out on one, I'm pretty sure confirmed. Compot is not. Melman going to try and get the pick up here, but this is risky. It's always risky, but you're banking on Kamka to try and keep you alive. Digital Athletics, in the meantime, have been racking up kills, but they are, again, in a very scary predicament. Nade. Ooh, very nice bounce on the nade from Kamka. Catches Jazzer again. He cannot catch a break, as Lux is still unleashing with that Car 98. The nade confirms what was started, but Vitality still stand. They do not expect... Tornado looks so confused. They did not expect these players to be so close by, and now caught off guard. You do see a good reply from Compot, but surely this is going to be going in the way of Vitality, or is it? Are they backing away from this? They lost out on Shadow in the meantime. It looks like they're falling away, but while all of this has happened, Digital Athletics were taking fights everywhere, and they've just been picked apart by every other team. Yeah,
Compot, last player standing here. He's going to try to pick up one of his team members, and Krama's also going to pull back, maybe try to get Shadow up. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Rishad's in the distance here, just taking more ground, very greedily splitting here, taking a lot of ground here in phase 4. We're going to see the phase 5 circle soon. Vanga on the eastern side, they're looking very good for themselves. The Six is also looking really strong, and it's going to go very far east here. Looking very good for Vanga.
Yeah, they've got a really nice spot to work out from. The remainder of Reciprocity, Rafi, after the revive from Haxeti earlier, managed to stay alive, find a little compound, sit in, camp away, don't move, just hold that doorway. We do see Besiktas, of course, very close by. Two of the players there not far off. Tommel's holding quite close by. Vitality, I feel, hesitated too long to be very much to the point. They could have dealt with that fight cleaner. And now Tornado do indeed have the upper hand. A couple of fights do start to kick off as all the positions do get noted. The Knights on the run there. That's from Besiktas, from Tommel specifically with that mini, forcing them back onto their ledge.
Trying to keep them away here. Knights were looking pretty good, but Seats has definitely spotted them out. Compot is going to be taken out by Krama. Still, this fight's going for 5 minutes. It's a fight outside the zone, looking very rough for these guys. 7, though, is going to sneak up. They might be able to come in behind Besiktas and do some damage to these guys. Meanwhile, Kamka is going to take down Kramer. Finish him off as well. Nice shots by Kamka. The green-haired fellow. Now, if he's going to be found, though, Francario is going to find Pokémon, though. They're going to go out 9th. They did manage to get them some kills, though, so that's going to be fine for them. Still not inside the circle. These two teams, they're suffering and just fighting each other, just hurting each other, not being able to get further. And probably not going to be able to win the game from now on here, but 7 southern side.
Yeah, checking in on this one, we do have to kind of, again, remind ourselves the Raise Your Edge are in a good position because they have the compound, some decent ground there. They could get caught up by the remainders of that awkward fight that continued to happen out towards the west. And the Knights are also flanking up on that side. So it's not just Vitality and Tornado anymore. The whole squad, I'm pretty sure, of the Knights is working in that direction. And you are hearing those shots. That is Raise Your Edge joining in. And that is Vitality. Ooh. That's Chris finding that. Chris from afar delivers it towards Melman. That's what you want to be seeing. There's that pressure. That's Raise Your Edge. I like that. I want this team to do well because I love that aggression. Chris is a really stylistic player, and it's so exciting to watch when he starts getting a hot hand. So this could be a good one for him, but Vitality still have a player close enough by. The Knights are going to run that gauntlet, and this side is the scary one. They have the castle walls built. Vanguard have the entirety of the west. They have a great position, really nice ridgeline to work off, and they have a great deal of ground in front of them. Now, Chris is in trouble. The Knights have turned up, and they're not going to play nicely.
Great in here, and they're moving in with cars as well, trying to take more ground. Shadow's going to find one, though. One is going to be taken down. He's going to find another. No, Snark is going to drive over Shadow, and they're going to be taken down to 7th place. Maybe going to be able to pick up Warner as well. Meanwhile,
what a way to die.
Yeah. Go down, especially as the last player, so there's no knock, no nothing. You just go completely out here. 7 making a move on Besiktas, though. New zone kind of centers up on the northern side. It's not a hard shift, but Avanga still looking strong. Rashid still has that saloon area to himself.
This is quite scary. I know Rafi could play a factor, but I'm pretty sure that's just positioning. So it is down between these two. Edelweiss, I loved this play earlier from him. He looked deadly in that little bit of a battle he's all caught up with. Wonder if he's going to keep that form going in towards this one. Good positioning coming out from 7 Esports, but Besiktas do hold high ground and they can't find a way to break it. Lux holds the line and Besiktas do not allow them a way forward. Tomo looked like he could be the breaking point if Frank could have created that opportunity, and he's actually doing very well. Tomo's down to almost a one-shot. Where's Ultra in this? Ultra needs to almost over-peak. He needs the help. The nade's done the work, but he can't back away quick enough. Besiktas goes down, and the angles coming out from the 7 side, it was so good. They worked that out, but here comes the push again. The Knights working their way forward towards Raise Your Edge, who hold the compound. We saw the sniping work was good. How's their close quarters combat looking here? Drayden, this is trying to build a little bit of cover maybe to play with here, but he's drawn the attention of a Vanguard, and that's a very scary side to try and draw the attention from.
Meanwhile, Rafi, he's taking a little sneak peek and looking at 7. Oh, there's a guy's knocked there, but I'm not going to take the shot. So I want to try to survive for longer. I want to try to see if we can make a bigger play than that. Hexet did the same earlier on in a Wrangle game, just laying low, and that's the right thing to do. You want to make sure you can third-party a fight. There is an opening, but he didn't seize it before. He's going to be able to sneak in behind them, though, maybe wipe out all of them. Let's look at that. Raise Your Edge, though, and Knights, this is going to be some interesting fights here. It's just big teams coming on. The
thing that scares me for the Knights, even though they've got a great fighting potential, Raise Your Edge don't need to join in the fight in theory because they have the hard cover to play from. They don't need it now. Rafi just waited too long. Dies in the end. Reciprocity goes down. They did get at least good positioning in points, I guess, placement points.
Yeah, a little bit.
But still, not ideal. Let's look at the situation we have. Avanga hold great deals of ground. We have the team coming from the southern side. They're still kind of broken and beaten from the last fight they took. The Knights don't have that hard cover to play from, whereas Raise Your Edge don't need to expose themselves. But look at that northern split from Maxi. That's such sick play. It's dangerous, but what it provides is huge.
And the angles they need there. And Oxford's going to find Snark, though, and definitely the team here that's in trouble is Knights. They are on the edge. They have not much ground to work with, and they basically need a hard shift in the next phase to make anything work here. Or they have to crash Raise Your Edge, which would probably turn out wrong because they got a kind of a player on a off-angle Nemerith. Oh, with a nade onto Snark and finishing off that. Reels is going to be taken down to nothing as well.
There's that aggression I was super excited for. It's such a risky play considering that Maxi is in the distance, but they made it further enough to be able to deliver the nade over the ridge line, and that's super nice. But again, look at a Vanguard split. They have 2 towards the northern side of the road, 2 towards the south, and they split the last circle in half. It's all theirs. They still hold great ground. They do need to reconsolidate to a degree, pull themselves back in, as they don't want to get picked apart. You don't want to start losing out on players one by one at this stage.
I want to make sure to get some more of these points. 7, though, kind of have to make themselves in, and Ivanka putting on so much pressure onto those guys as well. Looks like Edelweiss, they have to move on. Look at this space they have. They have nothing to work with. As soon as they move into the circle, Ivanka's going to be staring straight in their face, as well as Erasure Edge. They're going to have an opening to them as well. So Edelweiss and those guys, they really have to make a move soon. Close to the zone, though. Might be able to sneak in. Pittsburgh Knights as well, not inside the zone. 3 guys alive, also have to make a move. Ivanka staring in their face. Erasure Edge looking for some points as well. Yeah. So 3-way battle if anyone.
This is going to get tough for those teams, as you said. I think the Knights have got a task at hand, to say the least. They're going to have to find a way in. They've got good enough loot. I see that level 3 helmet there. I see, you know, they've got range to play from, but they need something to spur them forward. And right now, they have nothing to play with. Minox is going to find Wanted. That's a good pickup for them. Is there any more to be seen here? A Vanguard don't want to split themselves too thin. They cannot overextend. That's their one problem. If they take individual fights and start to take damage, that's where it can go wrong. But for now, that could be the case. Edelweiss does find Snoopy. If they could springboard off that, that'd be great. But the problem is for 7, they have so many fights on so many fronts. Even if they get one knock, it doesn't mean they're safe. That is nice work. That is exceptional work. Edelweiss gets completely decimated. A Vanguard still hold this firing line, and it's so deadly. The points are going towards their favor more than anything. Razor Edge are desperately wanting some of this bit. Now, is there any more to be seen? Yeah, it's a bit of a death valley here. Every side, 7 esports is eliminated. A Vanguard claiming all of those points. The Knights still have a player up, but for how long?
Reals here managed to survive into the top 3. Trying to just survive for this. He might be able to sneak in later, but I really doubt it. This is the next fight we're going to see here is Razor Edge versus Ivanka. And Ivanka has the upper hand. They have so much base. Unless the next circle shrinks and is on top of this Saloon, it's looking very good for Ivanka. Okay, so
Ivanka have all the cards, right? This is theirs, to say the least. It's pretty even. It still has room for Razor Edge to a degree to play into this. The issue is Reals could play spoiler for Razor Edge if they start pushing out, trying to make a play of it. The other option is you hope that Chris can land a couple of big shots and maybe eliminate one of these individual splits. But look at this. This is smart, and this is just kind of preemptive play, and I like it. Maxi already may be finding a way forward to try and recreate that nicer, kind of stronger foothold into this map, maybe being less isolated or feeling confident enough to stay where they are. Again, with 3 teams remaining and 8 players, you know you're in trouble.
And Ivanka already making the moves, and look at how central Azrain already is. X-Chris, though.
That's what I'm saying. If he can deliver opportunities, they can springboard off the back. I wish we could see his perspective here, but for now, it's going to be a Vanguard trying to get the heal. Smokes go down. If any time now, Razor Edge need to make their move. We do see more fire coming in. Reals just got picked up. This is Chris. Oh. That's the big shot that you want to be seeing 8 times on that beautiful gun. Razor Edge, how do they play this out? It's down to 2 teams here. The revive should be coming in anytime now. That's going to be happening. That's not a problem. But how do the 3 remainers from Razor Edge get out of this compound with a Vanguard holding such a big angle off this now?
Thinking this is not even the sniper patch we're playing on yet. X-Chris is going to be making so much more damage with those bolt action. I love to see they picked it up already, even though we are on patch 26. Menox and X-Chris trying to make a decision here. And honestly, for me, if they don't get a pick or an opening, I don't know if it's even worth it trying to make a move on it, because it's 3 points they could deny, and then again it's boring games.
Don't be that guy.
I know,
don't be that guy. Don't encourage it.
I know, but they can hear us, so it's good. Definitely some opportunities, but they have a high ground on them. Ivanka, that knock that they got, that was definitely the move they should have done on it, and Ivanka, ooh, never.
I love this. This is excitement to me. I love these angles. They're playing with such minute angles to work from. And I've got to feel that Razor Edge are actually kind of being, not necessarily the aggressors, but they're fighting this hard. They're trying to win with the cards. I want to see utility. Oh, Chris again! This has to be the time for them to springboard forward. They have to start working on these picks. They're working them down, and here we go. Nimrith now starts working their way forward. Minox holds an angle. Chris, they're allowing Chris to get some work done. You've got to deny peeks from 2 of the other players to allow Chris a chance to get this. Look at this pixel. Oh, it's so sick! Can we just watch this guy? Please, just please. I'm begging you. I don't care about them stimming up. It does not excite me. What excites me is the Razor Edge are trying to work on this one. Chris is tagged up, though. That's going to slow this down. Slows down the roll. Nemerath, though, working forward. This is brave. This is risky. This could be borderline insanity. Chris now trying to make a bit of a gauntlet run as well. Smokes are up, but for how long? Nade's coming through. Nemerath is right on the verge of this. Menox needs to keep them busy. Keep their attention turned. The nade in Chris's hand. Do they know the push is here? Now they do. Chris gets spotted. Oh, but they overextend. Nemerath gets down 1. That's Maxi gone. Asper there replies in kind, and a Vanguard shut it down before it starts.
rotations. Avanga definitely nailed the northern rotation coming in, definitely spotting out kind of the tendencies that the majority of the teams, they kind of just go the easiest, shortest way towards the circle. So those long rotates, the kind of the liquid rotations that we know them, they definitely pay off, especially on a shorter best of, as we see here with the best of 12 towards the grand finals.
I like the fact that we're no longer seeing, and just something to kind of pick out and poke from back in Minsk, when we saw the old reciprocity, the alternating drop. Like it goes one way, instantly they'd be out of the plane straight on the ground. That seems to have changed now. However, I've got to say, Rex so far today, they're having the rough end of the stick. It's not been going well for them.
They had a rough start, definitely, yeah. But here with Picardo, and they're going to have some more Picardos as well. They have Picardos to themselves. So Miramar should be pretty easily straightforward for them. But reciprocity, I mean, if they keep fighting on Erangel, I feel like the outcome of the results on Miramar is going to determine whether they go back and fight Vitality on Erangel on the school and app. So that's going to be interesting, though. But definitely some shakeups. And now we see as well, Desperado is going to join Navi up in La Caparia. Not sure what's happening there, but they're most likely contesting him for it. But usually they went in Montenueve. Usually they go into Minas Generales, but here it was more of a change-up. Obviously, the plane was definitely tough here, but Puerto Paraíso, Tornado Energy is going to be looting here, and they're going to be kind of all to themselves. We Need a Home has made a big split on the eastern side, and a kind of, we rarely see this, but usually we see it south of Los Lunas. Here they're between Los Lunas and Puerto Paraíso, and the loot is way worse there than compared to the southern sides of Los Lunas.
Just to give you an update in the north, it looks like the Desperados were the first ones with the boots on the ground, so they managed to push out Navi. Navi with the vehicles. I mean, unfortunately for one of them, I believe it's Sen, who has actually been pushed into M19 on the opposing edge. Again, vehicles will give away his position, so look for some early engagements coming up from the northern ridges here, as again, CIS on CIS action may be in abundance. Aduzi does have his back. Whether or not he's got a gun's a completely different story. We are playing ever so slightly changed settings here. These are the super settings. You can go and get all the rules from PUBG esports.com if you want to have a look and see how they all play out. A couple of increased loot spawns and, I was going to say loot spawns, loot amplification. Easy to get an AR and a DMR in your back pocket and get geared up to be able to transfer this around. We'll see teams like, I think Liquid's probably one of the most relevant when we talk about this. It gets to that 4-minute mark. And kind of regardless what they've got, because they know they can at least take a fight, they're completely off straight away. And we're starting to see a few teams actually follow suit with that one.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's an advantage as well. That's why we see so many center teams do so well. We saw TSM do well in phase 1. And there's a lot of teams that are putting themselves into positions where they're able to pick up a decent amount of loot, and then no matter how their loot situation is, if they're missing a compensator error, they're going to move at that mark, move together, make sure they can get into a good spot on the circle. Agari and Senya, though, looks like Senya might have spotted or gotten some information, because there's a car that randomly came rolling in here, and I think it's Agari's.
That's actually going to give away his position, where the car just comes trickling in. So Senya hides the bike, make sure the tyres don't go amiss. Certainly a bike on Miramar is much better than a vehicle.
He's trying. He knows there's a guy close, because this guy just came rolling in. Gotta remember that handbrake. Obviously, this circle it's a pretty good one. I'm just here. I'm just gonna throw it out. We haven't seen the Los Lunas ending in very long. Could we just hope for that, like the urban ending fighting here?
It's rare, but it does happen, doesn't it?
And we've seen a fair share. Not the same. Oh, taking some shots here though. Senya, 22-25 damage. He's gonna be down to half HP each. He's going to be driving away safely. Looks like not going to be knocked here. M19 did make an effort for it, though. He's going to be safe. And Navi's going to be able to loot at the trash around La Caparia. But they have a long way to go, and they have to go on a far northern rotation from this.
It might have been smart, I don't know whether he did it or not, to take out the actual tyres on the vehicle that rolled by him, maybe pop them and then drive off. I won't be surprised if he'd done that just to deny that.
200 IQ player.
I mean, we've seen it before, hell. I remember back when Tempo Storm would literally puncture every tyre on that west coast of Erangel, so nobody could rotate behind them with vehicles. It was such a BM but amazing thing to watch.
Honestly, it's the strategy that goes into it. You just make a point. Nobody comes to Gaka and they're going to lose their tires if they do and make it hard for everyone. So now they have all of Gatka to themselves and all of Wesker to themselves. So it's obviously one of the reasons why they've been doing so well. We Need a Home. They're rotating very close. Rita the female in-game leader. She's amazing. I would love to see them play, and I'm so happy they made it here.
She has to be careful though, because
Coming in from
shot at 2 different angles. That cow won't give her too much of a defensive stance. Bullets in the back, and again, been pressured from this side only. Might put her in the open to Digital Athletics behind, so she has to be careful. I'm not seeing any heals just yet, which begs, there we go, bandages out. Okay, that begs the question of how many meds does she actually have. I'm seeing, is that a 3 vest? Potentially, it looks like it to me. Mark 14 in play. Speaking of level 3 vests.
That's unfortunate. That's not going to be picked up.
Did I see a scope? There was a no scope on that one. Maybe if it doesn't matter anyway, as you mentioned. So you're still aggressively being pushed here. Oh, I'm seeing where that crouch is. You're right, mine. That's completely no man's land. Unless
it's never going to be picked up.
I mean, the only way that would get picked up, and it would
Somebody,
be
yeah,
exactly, a complete wide western rotation, which we have seen in the past. You know, if teams want to play it safe.
Could see it. And also, look at how open it is as well.
Yeah, I mean, generally we only ever see that when there's a team that's actually looting in the west, like Monte Nuevo, Pozo, but we don't have any teams down there. It might be clever, though. It might be, you know, an IQ play of someone to do that, because you'd expect at this terminology in the game, this time in the game, this time frame, that the northern area would be extremely busy. I mean, we've seen it a few times around where Raise Your Edge are. NIP, for example, TSM have been caught off guard a few times. They've rotated through the San Martin area, and you know, NIP being like, well, we've got the circle, why bother moving out of here? And you go through that bottleneck either the backside or the front side, and you can just instantly lose a player. But certainly the north is looking extremely busy. Desperados, M19, Na'Vi, all on the triple rotate together, side by side. Let's see if we get any drive-bys or hanging out the back of the vehicle. Initial shots of that. Caldermentus tagged.
More rotations coming in here, western side. I mean, Desperados, they knew nobody probably went Montenegro because of that, so they're coming, long rotations coming in from that. And a lot of teams, it's extremely congested and towards the middle. A lot of teams want to be close to Lost Lowness in case it goes there. Calvin Klein, though, with another bold action knock. Again, we're not on the bold action patch, but people keep on picking it up. Lead player, though, taking some more shots. Desperado is going to be moving away, and they're going to be stopping. They're looking for some points here. Calvin with the nade, counter-nading as well. Oh!
That's next to him. Heard him. He's damaged. He's not down yet. Calvin's going to get aggressive off the back of this one. He knows he's kind of got a potential tag here, but the lean is through. The shoulder peaks there, hits him in the head. There is a response that keeps him alive for now. Literally have a telephone post. Fake might not be able to get there in time if he body blocks this one. Oh, the vehicle's running away. That's not good. If he'd have put the brake on, that could have saved him. The smoke's up. Will he go for it? Doesn't commit. An elite player from the distance. Up on top of the hill is actually, excuse me, no, it wasn't the confirmer, but
yeah, elite player knocked him, and then Eggery put some damage on him.
Just put enough on him
the
to
finish.
bleed him out.
Exactly.
But he's done some damage himself, though. There's been a return fire on there, which the pressure alleviates, at least for Desperados. Okay, they lose one on this one, but they'll pick up 2 points. It's kind of a game of chess, right, where you have these early interactions where you move your pawns into place. Is it worth it? You got to weigh up the cost. All right, we might lose one here, but we'll pick up 2. Do we really want to do it? And I think that comes down to communication amongst your team. And more importantly, I think that entire call probably lies on your IGL, I want to say.
Yeah, definitely lies on the IGL. And that, to stop there, you got to knock. You want to kind of push on it. Let's see, the shift is going to go hard north. That's definitely one of the most northern shifts we've seen some while here. La Bandita is going to be very centered. We've seen so many endings here as well in phase 1 around that compound where Shadow is and around the kind of the crater area west of it. So Vitality, they're going to be completely going to that warehouse where Shadow is currently. And they're going to be looking very strong from there. But Six is making a move from the east. Crowd is going to be moving in there as well. Reciprocity is going to be pulling up as well, probably around close to it. Set, taking some shots onto Unity though.
The man who can snipe ops for the SKS, see if he can finish this one off. He's already done enough damage onto Batulan. The rest of Unity will rotate through as the huge northern migration will come through. This circle, though, Martin, the biggest issue is the fact that when you look at La Bendita and everything else around it, bar Minas Generalis and the back end of Los Leones, which in theory it shouldn't go towards any of those because, I mean, we'd expect it to pull unless it's a hard shift down south. But from Bendita, it's pretty much field work from there.
Absolutely. I mean, we're here in phase 2, and some of these teams, they want to put themselves into positions where they can kind of run from foot from there. But La Bandita is one of the areas that's very hard to kind of survive out of, because if there's multiple teams going in there, it's always dependent on the circle and depending on the decisions made before that. So any of these teams kind of taking an edge angle or taking a position to make sure they get some kills, that's definitely going to work out very well for them. The Sixers decided to not take the compound. They left one guy behind and sent 3 guys further towards that kind of angle. It looks like they're kind of repositioning the 2-2. So you kind of have that split between both having the kind of the counter position to that, where you can be held out from the circle in case that the circle shrinks away from them. So I really like that kind of thought process going into that. Desperado and Na'Vi, though, they are rolling up and trying to get in. They're at power grid. Still far away to go, and they're going to be definitely one of the later coming into the circle. Happily for them, it's going to be a northern shift, but they're going to be coming in on the western side.
Na'Vi could be really cruel here. And you get a player like Bestelok, who was actually pulled up out of his vehicle for having a scout. You were able to hear this the closer they get, but Na'Vi's held back. I'm going to say Na'Vi could gem bleed. If they get ahead...
Oh, fake.
Uh-oh.
The UK driving right here. Unfortunate.
Stop it. Stop it.
Because it's the wheel is on the left side here. It's left-handed driving, right?
No. Get back in your Carlsberg van and drive off Martin.
No. M19 also pulling in, and they're also far away. Yeah, let's go.
I kind of focusing on that one a little bit too much, but I said maybe one of those teams decides to pull up in front of the other and basically just hold them at gunpoint on the edge of the white. Na'Vi are now going to be forced to take the hillside, which is going to be brutal terrain. I really like... Okay, I didn't see that. I'm going to say I really like the play that Besiktas has made. It's a lot of open ground for them to cover. There's a lot of dips and divots. They can keep themselves covered. Simsy, however... He's taking a bullet, and he's going to be in the open. Rita, unfortunately. I'll say fortunately, finds a body box. There'll be some meds for it there, so she can get in the vehicle and continue forward. Is she still outside? Yeah, in the blue. And this, next time round, depending on her med situation, is really going to hurt.
So Na'Vi made a transition. They stopped up here, and then they started scouting towards and further into the zone. Now they're going to be making a rotation with 2 bikes and a Mirado, and they're going to be pulling up in a decent position, probably around above the crater here. Circle is going to shrink very hard east, and now Besiktas, they are laughing because they have a great split. They can now go back to Ultra's compound and kind of hold that aggressively, but we have a big road in the middle, and that's going to decide a lot later, depending if we get an ending close to that, because crossing especially that road is so detrimental in the late game if you have to cross it on foot.
And again, another point for Besiktas, I know we're focusing on them, but their position's really good at the moment, and you kind of got to think ahead of the next circle, right? It's okay thinking about this one and where you're going to be safe, but it's kind of what you see teams that like to try and play the central areas. There's someone like Liquid who will go Picado and Pachinki. Wherever the circle is perpendicular to them, okay, you're going to get these heavy north and heavy south circles, these shifts, which are obviously difficult to get to, but when you center, it gives you a better area, or at least an easier option to rotate to and from.
Yeah.
Right now for Besiktas, they've kind of looked ahead of the game and been up there, gives them a multitude of angles that they can approach the next circle to. And again, because they're in this position where it's almost central, circle, it was going to generally be in,
somewhat close to them,
reaching distance regardless of where you are. So nice place for now, and a couple of other teams have had the same thought process. Avanga have got lucky, but they're in the middle of a field now. They'll pull up there. That's all the way on the eastern side. The problem is once that circle, or if that circle moves away from them, it's going to be a problematic. Yep, you called it right, Martin. The pull-ups here. Wanted will respond, though. Excuse me, Fast Rail goes down. Nade comes through, though. Picks up another one as well. Wanted, the one-man band here, single-handedly ripping Raise Your Edge, limb from limb. As Reels wants to get involved as well.
And he's probably very happy right now in terms of, this is his old teammate right now. He absolutely annihilated, or at least Fast Rail is. And he's going to return it, Reels. Ooh, and Ratio Edge is out 16, very unfortunate for them. It's a pull-up, right? But they could have scouted this a bit better, I feel like. But they probably expected this kind of edge compound not to be taken and held down like this. But this was a play from Wanted. What an amazing play. He threw a nade, and Nemerid stepped straight into it, managed to finish off one, and managed to go out and take one more down. That's super well played by him. Unfortunately, Mannix is going to finish him off, and they're going to lose a few players as well themselves.
I mean, he does go down in the end, but you know for a fact there's going to be a smile on his face taking out his former IGL team captain, who he played with. It's all fun and games and a bit of banter. Maxi, another sniper that we are very well versed with, time and time again in the kill feed. wanted himself someone who stepped up to the plate during phase 1. Mimo, we need a home. Still going strong. Called a Menta. Finds the back end of the grenade from him and instantly gets confirmed as well.
Oh, shots coming in.
The big man with a minute. Forced to pull back and heal. Actually,
up, right?
you know what? Navi could potentially talk about ping pong here.
This is some hardships we've seen.
I mean, that's literally up against the blue. That's not moot. That's as close as you're going to get to a hard shift. Good Lord.
I was going to scream it's a hard shift, but I'm not. But it's definitely a hard shift.
It's rough.
And still, again, the Besiktas in a decent spot. Red Diamonds, though, they definitely benefited from that. Abanga benefited from that. And some of these teams, M19 there on the kind of the edge, but two guys alive in a position like that, they can't really stay up on it. But all the other teams that have to make it in and try to get towards the circle, they're looking at rough right now. Desperado, Reciprocity, Crow Crowd, they're one of these teams looking really rough. They have 15 seconds until the circle starts moving, and it's phase 4, so it's 3 damage per second. So it's going to be really rough for them. Navi, though, taking some shots at Pittsburgh Knights. Set is going to find Orange now, meanwhile. Jassa here.
Yeah. Goes for the quick spray.
What was that?
I don't know. I actually thought he'd hit him then. It was a weird noise, I know.
Yeah, I like it. That's good. Nade's coming out. Jazz. Oh, that's a good nade. And follow up with it. That's very beautiful execution right there. Batalin's also taking some damage. Returning, though, onto Jazza. And Vitality is looking strong in this compound still. Although this was center in phase 2, it's not center anymore. And they have to make a move on an open field towards the east and towards Besiktas.
Thinking ahead of the game as well, once this fight's all said and done, as you said, they now need to basically cross this open field. It all depends on where Crow Crowd and other teams want to bank on setting up shop. Crow Crowd are actually being held back by Besiktas, which then doesn't pay any kind of dividends here for either of these two teams. But Tulim gets deleted from the server as his vehicle goes up in smoke. Recrench is going to be left to bleed out. Sadovnik has gone for the slow walk up north and will be crossing paths with Navi anytime soon. Vitality are going to just hold around for a few seconds, maybe try and find this final snake. Him basically going off on his own is apparently basically a detriment to Vitality because they're trying to find him. Either way, vehicles are in abundance, so they're going to try and make something happen. But there are so many teams waiting with open arms. Vitality might end up rocking up on the back of Crow Crowd here.
It could do. 7 has a good spot here. Tenere Energy has a decent spot. Digital Athletics also inside the circle, but Sadovnik is trying to sneak up behind Navi. Meanwhile, We Need a Home has been found by Tausera, and they're going to be finished off in 15th place.
Rough start for them so far, but unfortunately when you're playing at this level, it's welcome to the big leagues. Some big bad boy names in this one. And Group B is when it gets even harder. We'll move in there this afternoon, and then when we get to those grand finals, every single person's in play. Sadovnik, come on, you got Nick here, buddy. Don't get done like that. Taps Bestlock in the head, goes for the confirmation with the grenade. Molodoi waits in the distance.
Rafi has spotted Crow Crowd here. They have a high ground. They're waiting for them to take shots. Rafi's found one. Set's been finished off. That's the secure. And now everyone else is starting to shoot at them because they are in the middle and they have no cover whatsoever. Molodoi is going to take some... Oh, more nades coming in. Managed to run away from it. Circle is going to close. Reciprocity is looking to be in a somewhat rough spot. We have a slightly western shift here, and Besiktas is still in a good spot. It's going to take... Simsi's going to take down Senya and finish him off as well with both headshots on the knock and the finish. Love to see it. Sarong's going to take down Shift. Reciprocity is looking to be in a rough spot right now.
However, if they can win this one out and survive it through, which is looking unlikely as they've lost 2 back-to-back, they would be in a decent spot. Francario just crossing the road. We switch to Rafi's POV. Is he actually going to do it through the window? Don't let this happen, Rafi. No, 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 my friend. Pulls the bus up, looks through the window, says thank you very much. You don't have a ticket for this one, buddy. Your journey is over now. Hacks, last man standing for Rec, is basically just thrown to the wolves. Smokes come up to give him a bit of support here. But yeah, 9,000 IQ play, just looks through the window. Oh, Randy Nade, hello.
Tausera coming out from behind. Potentially could find Haxet. And that would finish him off. Red Diamond's taking some shots at Avanga now as well. Tornado Energy taking shots at 7, and Digital Legacy is going to join this fight as well. This is a fight for the South right now.
Look at all the smokes they're in. They're denying line of sight through the windows. They're actually smoking
Clever.
up the building so they can't see them, which will give them an opportunity to run across the road. Digital Athletics need to be proactive here. Nade the living hell out of that road. Don't waste them all, though. The team across the road will only run A, when the blue's starting to move, or B, when the smokes are finally up. So just don't throw all your nades out and waste them. Make them count. Reals fighting here for survival. This is in the bunker area of Bandita. Hax goes down. Krabik finds him. Shiv confirmed as well, because that's the end of reciprocity. Still having difficulties here this morning. Compot confirmed. A beautiful death finds him. Job done on that side. Still trying to cross the road, ho. The issue is, Digital Athletics, okay, they can commit to this, but once it's done and once they've fought this battle, really what's left? Desperados, nothing left for them. They're all dead.
You found one, only got the knock, and still a fight is going on here with Tornado Energy and Digital Analytics. They are not inside the zone. Well, one of them is, but the rest are, and they have to make a move here. Now shots are coming in from Red Diamonds as well from across the map. Millman take down one. It's Mert. Now Millman has to heal himself. 6 more around the corner. Beautiful Death's going to take down Kamka, and now Sigma's going to make a move. Next team is down to nothing. He's going to be hit by the zone. It's probably going to be taken down by that zone as well. Millman's going to step up, take some shots. Bumkaki finish off one. Oh, and Beautiful Death's going to return it on him. And now 7 is joining the fight with a third party onto Digital Analytics. And Buster and these guys, they have a great spot. Still inside the zone here. Vitality has been found by Sarang, though.
Smokes are up. This will give him a bit of respite for now. Vitality's on the main road, though, so might have an eye line. They do have an obstacle of their own in front of them, which is Crow Crown still holding back. We called this one further on that Vitality was okay going after Unity, but they spent so much time waiting there. Gregory's just going to find a location inside the circle for now. Besiktas looking strong, though, still. Not quite front and center, but a massive compound, and it is more central than any other player at the moment. Avanga holding on for dear life. Actually have Red Diamonds in their sights, so maybe a couple of points they can pick up, because also Drayden has moved to the back of Bendita, which gives them this eye line on back of Red Diamonds, and maybe essentially just pokes them out into the open for Avanga to clean up. Natus Vincia, that looked like a big old grenade, but it wasn't. It was Drayden with a big old arm. Comes in, finish him off with the mini. Elder Vice, though, grenade up and over. Baki will go down. And 7, still 4 players up, still going strong. Red Diamonds, it's time for them to move. The smokes are there. And it looks like they're going to make a pressure push here for that crater line. But they're going to have to fight for it, Martin. When they go over here, they've got the Knights to deal with.
I'm not sure if this is the play for them. I mean, La Bandita has some inside. I'm not sure if it's for the push for the points, but the other push would be to take a kind of another push onto a Vanguard, but they didn't want to do that. So they're pushing up to La Bandita to take a spot on the edge of the zone. And I'm not sure if it's because of the pressure that Vanguard put on them here. Eggery is going to find Edelweiss and finish him off. M19 with some kills. Vitality is going to go out in 9th place, though. Meanwhile, a beautiful death has also been found. He's going to go out in 8th.
So really quickly, Red Diamonds, it looked like they committed to this push for the simple fact that Avanga were holding them for so long. But now they've paused and they've stalled. And unfortunately, that's allowed the Knights to push up front and center, and are probably just going to rain hell from above. And as we're talking about it, bye-bye Red Diamonds. Drayden with a big old nade commits them to the grave, and it's job done. The Knights will hold this ridgeline for now and await the next circle shift.
Oh, that's a good nade. Egger going to take some shots at the Buster, and he's going to take down one. Francario is going to return it, though. M19 is out in 6th place. Francario down to nothing. Maxi saw and Avanga, they're going to push onto it.
They've got to keep going here. Maxi's been popping heads the entirety of this game, so they'll be able to force the cleanup crew. 4 points from kills alone, already into the top 5. Snoopy taking out Francarino. Sees him. Crab hiding behind what's left of the tractor. He's going to get kind of completely clustered here. He's got Crow Crown on one side, who are nading the living hell out of him, and Snoopy just waiting with the SLR. He does go far, but at least gives away his position and forces his hand. Looks to the opposing side. Snoopy will be brought back by Besiktas. Besiktas need to be careful here. They've got an elevated line of sight, and all the teams are pretty much perpendicular to them. The only issues they need to be aware of is the Knights lingering from behind. Make sure they don't get stabbed in the back, as so many teams do time and time again. Maxi, once again, with his 24, out in the open, looking for a face.
And Besiktas is definitely aware of Knight's location here, so they're gonna just wait for them. Knights, they have a little bit to work with, but not much. This is definitely, again, when you have to come out of La Bandita in the late game, it's always super rough. Kemba is gonna nade Kravik, so that is 7 esports down in 5th, leaving Crow Crowd with 2 guys alive, Avanga with 3, Besiktas is all 4, and Pittsburgh Knights has 3 guys alive as well. Besiktas still have some of this come out still in, so they could do a move here. But Knights, they're gonna make a move with some smokes. Nades are gonna come out from Simsi. Reels is down to nothing as well himself. Finish off on Drayden. And Reels, he is gonna heal with a first aid here and gonna come up. Snark is gonna try to make a move as well.
I'm trying to hit this at the off angle, but no, he's been spotted. I thought Reels were gonna draw on the attention and maybe try and allow him in there. The nades will keep on going to try and pick him off. However, I was just about to say, Max is still the one player that you have to be aware of on this map. He has been hitting the world so far in this game. We've seen it in Minsk, we've seen it in many other competitions. The man is just a machine with a bolt action. Time and time again do we see these one individual players turning the tides of the game. And Avanga haven't rested. Easy, Martin. They've gone further and deeper into the circle here. They've gone on a pretty much a 3-man split. Crow Crowd could be a nuisance to them, or they might play spoiler here for Besiktas if they want to push on that side.
It's definitely spoiler for one of the teams. It depends what Crow Crowd decides to do here. Nice push here from Lux. They took on kind of the uphill battle here in a more center location than before, leaving the other guys kind of on a back line to shoot some shots at them. They're still inside, but once they have to move out of this compound, it's going to be rough times for them. They have some more costs. Zone shrinks on Avanga. It's a very big zone, remember that. So it's not because they got that much out of it, but Thomas making a move. He's also going to make a move into the circle. And Avanga, they're very split out. They're not going to be able to refrag. If one of them gets knocked, they're not going to be able to pick them up.
I love the bait. I'm sorry to break you off there, man. I kind of love the bait, the fact that Tommel just took the vehicle, which essentially made Maxi look towards him. And then all of a sudden, the rest of the teams that was left in the back, Simsy and Ultra, just laid into him, pushed him back.
Yeah.
However, Besiktas, they have lost one while that's going on, and Crow Crowd have focused onto them. Simsy...
Ultra's like, safe res.
Safe res.
Safe res.
It's fine.
Yeah.
They're on the slower side of the circle, and they're pretty much just a hop, skip, and a jump away from being in the white, so that should be very easy pickings. Take a look.
Oh, no helmet.
He was healing.
And he was healing as well. That's rough times there. Ultra's going to be able to heal up them. Oh, Simsy with the knock on Maxi.
Bye,
Simsy. This guy, dude. More shots are coming in here. Crow Crowd is going to be third-partying a little bit. They could be third-partying Avanga from the top here. It's going to be very rough times for them. Look at this nade. Oh, it's close. Rolled a bit too long. Nades are coming out from the nade god himself. Tommel, self-proclaimed, of course. Simsy is up supporting Tommel now, and Besiktas is looking in a strong position. Lux, though, in an offhand position, off angle.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's an insane knock as well. Con 98. Smokes are coming out from Aserin. They're still split out very widely here, Avanga.
I like that
Lux has been found.
Lux essentially holds them here, dead to rights, turns around on a pinhead and puts him down to 8 HP, and they're forced to essentially re-rotate on where they were coming from. Maybe he plays this one against the blue and has a look. Look at the, okay, we need to just talk about this. The northern 2 players back-to-back up against the blue here, trying to flush out Asverin. All 3 majors commit to him. Lux steps up at the right time. Kemba goes down, and now the push can continue forward. Only 1 member left of Crow Crowd. They look across. They see Maxi up against the blue all the way to the back. And what can he really do up close and personal? Asverin, though, picks off 1, picks off 2. Besiktas turns around, steals 1. The man's on a mission, turns around. Can he make it 3? Has to fall back. No health whatsoever. Tommel says no. No more damage. 115. No helmet on. Hits him. Bullet to the back of the brain. Lux will confirm this one through. Continues the points on the board. And unfortunately, Avanga have just been completely thrown to the wind.
Maxi is 1 HP. Are you kidding me? He's going to be found now by Lux. He's going to Molotov himself to deny the points. Clever plays here, but Besiktas though with 6 kills here for the chicken dinner. Well, yeah, I mean, he had 1 HP